Results show that incumbent Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni won his country's recent presidential election with a comfortable majority of the vote. However, many Ugandans are suspicious of the results and are taking their message beyond Uganda's borders.
President Yoweri Museveni received 68% of the vote in Uganda's presidential elections on February 18th, but many Ugandans charged the results were flawed. Museveni took power in 1986 and changed the constitution in 2005 to end presidential term limits. What brought you out here today to protest in front of the State Department?
The unsatisfaction we have as Ugandans back home with the regime we currently have and we have had for the past 25 years and now 5 years more, which goes to close to Gaddafi's regime over 3 decades.
Last month, police in Uganda's capital, Kampala, fired tear gas and live bullets over the heads of protesters who were demonstrating against President Museveni's election win. Now, some members of the Ugandan opposition are appealing to other nations, including the United States, to drive out the Museveni government.
We are trying to remove the government of Museveni and Museveni himself. He has been in power for 25 years. Every indicator, political, economic, social, environmental, is moving backwards. We are shifting from a third world to a fourth world status, and we feel time has come for him to go.
Protesters gathered Monday outside of the U.S. State Department in Washington, D.C. to, in their words, inform the international community about the truth of what is going on in Uganda.
Museveni's regime has orchestrated a campaign of deceit and disinformation to the international community. His regime is very corrupt. There's a lot of nepotism, human rights abuses. Gays are being killed in Uganda as we speak. Political opponents are being killed. They disappear every day. Ugandans have had it.
The protests in Washington coincide with demonstrations in Los Angeles, New York, and London. Participants say Western nations must withdraw their support for the Museveni administration.
The U.S., first of all, the U.S. has sent a congratulatory message to Museveni for being re-elected, and we are saying, given the circumstances, given that he was voted by foreigners, given that his opponents have not conceded, he just cannot claim victory.
Some of the protesters even met with U.S. State Department officials.
We were able to talk to an official from the State Department, and that is very important for us. Basically, we want to convey to the U.S. administration that, number one, we are U.S. residents. We pay taxes here. Number two, that the money that they send to Uganda in foreign aid, we're not happy how it is being used once it gets to Uganda. Once it goes to Uganda, the government gets that money and buys arms.
Opposition leaders have repeatedly warned Uganda is ripe for an uprising like those in Tunisia, Egypt, or Libya, though analysts question the public's appetite for unrest. However, those gathered in Washington say they refuse to accept the legitimacy of the election. Our calls to the Ugandan embassy for comment were not returned. Sam Reinhardt, VOA News.